Well, hello again. It's Amy, VEDA Day 4, and I am going to try and make this pretty quick today because I'm in between appointments, and that's why I'm filming it in my car. But instead of the excuse of, I don't have time, I'm just going to do it super informal on the iPhone in the car with clearly the dirty windows. So today's topic, I'm going to kind of do an abbreviated version, was about sharing 4 friends that you totally know always have your back. And, is a great topic for me to think about and really think about, okay, who are the people in my life that I know are totally there for me no matter what. And I am so grateful to say that I actually have a number of friends who have been in my life for several decades, who I really do not only believe that they are there for me no matter what, but they have proven that their true colors just multiple times over the years when, bumps in the road have presented themselves in my life. So I am deeply grateful. The person I think I most wanted to highlight today, though, who is like the truest, bluest, number one primo, top priority, there for me no matter what relationship in my life, is my husband, Jeff. And so if you were with me in VEDA back in August, I did a whole video about how we first met and went out on our first date. So you can tune into that if you want to hear that story. I'll try and link that specific video down in the description below. But if you tuned in to yesterday's video, you saw me in my garage where I was knee-deep in purging and packing up my garage for this upcoming move. And as I was going through a bunch of boxes with all of our old kind of childhood memorabilia stuff that had been stashed in there for years, I came across a box, and this was a super treasure box. In it I found all of the letters that Jeff had written to me before there was email, before there was internet, way back in 1988 when I had spent the summer back on the East Coast after, 3 days after our first date. I left for the entire summer. And so I found the box full of the letters that he had written me that I kept all of these years. Let's see, which are right here. He will kill me if I ever read those to you, so I won't do that. So, but those are the letters. And then as I kept packing, purging packing, I came across another box that had all of the letters that I had written to him. And so it was fascinating for me to spend a little bit of time going through some of those letters, because coming up in June, I believe it will be 25 years since that very first date. And what really kind of stood out to me as I was looking through them, one, it was very interesting to see how we were in our 17 and 18-year-old selves. But when I look across the decades, and I think about, the topic of the day of, the people in your life that have just really been there for you no matter what, I can see the seeds of that in these letters way back when, 25 years ago. And over that 25 years, there have definitely been bumps in the road of life for me, us, as well as, I've had my own couple of dark nights of the soul, especially the last couple of years, and nobody's ever been there for me more than Jeff. So I also want to take today's VEDA to not only dedicate to Jeff, but to express my deep gratitude for having the gift of him as my husband and in my life. But I think the overall theme, in terms of just friendship in general, which I clearly have with him, but I look at it as a theme that I see across all of the friendships that have been really strong in my life over the decades, is the one thing that they all have in common that really stands out to me, that I want to highlight, is that in the times in my life when I clearly have not been at my best, or strongest. You know, those times in your life where you really may feel weak or vulnerable, and need to ask for help and support. Those are the people who always seem to lean into the best version of themselves in that moment. And so even though none of us are perfect, and I make sure to teach my children that, there's just something about a friendship that you know is the real deal when each person, you know, really leans into the best version of themselves when they see the other just doesn't have the ability to do that in that moment. So I guess that's the big takeaway I would leave with you today is, you know, who in your life, when you look around at all of your relationships, do you see that same pattern? You know, these are the people who you know will really step up to the plate and lean into the best versions of themselves when you really need it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on, you know, what your version of a true, real deal friendship is down below in the comments. And that's it for today. I guess we'll see you tomorrow with VEDA Day 5. See you later.